So what is it when you said, what was your first initial thoughts about relationships? And then like what difference do you see in them now?
Ooh. Um, I thought a relationship in the beginning, I thought it would complete me. I thought it was something that, is the ultimate goal in life. I felt like you get the relationship and everything else essentially falls into place. Almost like I was committed to the fairy tale of it. Like, like you meet your person and then you run off into the sunset. Like that person is going to, you know, fix the places where I lack and, fill me when I come short, and just be able to read my mind and understand me and all of those things. And uh I think my version of a relationship just wasn't grounded. It wasn't grounded because even the things that I say, I don't think that they're unattainable, but I think my approach to it was what was wrong. Now when I think about a relationship, I see two people who love each other and are working together to achieve common goals. So when I think about a relationship today, um, things that I'm asking are, one, who are you as a person? And are you somebody that I can deal with in all stages? Can I deal with you when you're angry? Can I deal with you when you're happy? Can I deal with you when, you know what I'm saying? What am I doing when I don't even want to talk to you? Like when I don't feel like being bothered with you, like how are we treating each other in those moments? And on the other side, like when I don't want to be bothered, how do you treat me? Are we making efforts to actually do this together? Because what I'm seeing is that it's always going to be not always going to be difficult, but it's important that both people are trying to achieve the same goal. And that relates to everything because that's the person that you trying to ultimately do life with, at least in my case. Because the goal for
Yeah.
me is to be married and start a family. So
Yeah.
if the goal is to do that, can we build together?
Yeah. I actually think your initial thought on relationships, I actually think that's probably, and I ain't done any research, it's just personal opinion. I would say that's probably about 99% of people's first thought.
Yeah,
And I know it was with you know what I'm saying? We do. We feel like that's the end goal. We feel like that's gonna complete us. We feel like once we finally get this person, everything falls into place. And that is absolutely the worst thought to have. I don't know where we get that thought from, other than the fact of what you even mentioned earlier, because on this as well. We create ideas in our head, which are fairy tales, and that's what we look to obtain. So because we're on the idea that's in our head, we don't even focus potentially on what this person really brings to us. Can they, are they even at the capacity to even meet the fairy tale ahead? And then once we in it, we find out, oh shoot, yeah, you ain't that fairy tale that I thought I was getting.
yeah,
So then the lesson that you learned afterward, I absolutely agree with that. Like, and I'm glad you said that because it's so funny. I don't see people say that. So I like how you broke that down because I feel like 100% if that's how I would say it as far as what I initially thought and then now what I learned, what I know about them. Um, I do feel like I tell people now, I said, I believe you gotta see people in all four seasons of their life. And that's hypothetically speaking, four seasons. And I also say I think people need to choose people based off their bad seasons, not their good ones. And when I say the bad seasons, it means once I see that you're still respectful, not a cheater, not a manipulator, not abusive, not anything to me when you're mad and angry and when you feel lost, if I see how good you treat me even doing that, you're more than likely the one. Because a lot of times we pick people based off, oh, he makes me happy, she makes me happy, oh, they buy me stuff, oh, we go on trips. Like we pick people off that good butterfly feeling, as
yep,
I like to call, we pick people off the honeymoon stage, but you ain't went through nothing with them. Like you don't know how they act and how they think when they going through depression. Because let's be real, we're two individuals. No matter if we're together, we're still two individuals going through two separate things. We still have two separate personalities. We still have two separate traumas, two separate backgrounds. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to choose people based off how they treat you when they're not in a good place in their life. It's just how I feel.
Absolutely. I completely agree with that. And that was the part that I didn't understand going into relationships in the beginning, is that we are two separate individuals working together to meet a common goal. We are not these two things joined at the hip 24/7. You have goals, dreams, aspirations, wants, and needs, and so do I. And I was always trying to, you know what I'm saying, just be that, honestly, I was trying to heal everybody else instead of healing myself.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
You know
we
what
do
I'm
that.
saying?
A lot of us do that. I ain't gonna even lie. A lot of us do that. We do. I don't know why we initially jump into that mode, that healer mode. I don't know why we do it, but we absolutely do. We want to save people, and we can't even save ourselves. Yep.
Yeah. I want to heal your heart. Like, I was that person that just wanted to heal your heart. I would take that broken, for me, it would be, I would take that broken girl and I would look at her and I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna love you till it's all fixed.
Yep.
And and we fighting the whole time because that's not my job to
Yep.
fix that brokenness in you.
And
Because
then you
the
got
thing that's trying to fix that is the brokenness in me is trying to fix the brokenness in you.
and you gotta think as women, we so emotional, man. It's like you trying to fix an emotional roller coaster. Like, come on now. Can't nothing fix that other than the person that's driving the seat. Like, you gotta put the brakes on them emotions, but we don't, I mean, we don't think like that. We just, if I be a good enough person to you, you gonna see that, you gonna fix, get into your heart, and then you gonna change. That's what we look at. And it's because we got pure motive. So, I get it. It's not like you're doing it just because you're trying to control this person, but it's just the pure motives that you have, the pure heart that you have that just want to see this person so healed and happy. But them emotional roller coasters, baby, can't nobody outside of them fix it. The person in the driver's seat got to fix it. That's one thing I learned even in, because my platonic relationships, and that's why I speak on, platonic and intimate, because even female friends, I'm like, God, that is not what I said. Like, how did you hear that?
Yeah.
And then it'll be the big, and I'm like, oh my God. So yeah, you just, ooh, child.
Yeah.
I'm a,
And,
yeah,
and
I'm a,
yeah, and that's
I know
also,
it's be too hard on us, but man, women, man, we be,
we
we
do a
we be
lot,
doing a
we
little
do the
too much
most. We
with
I
the
mean,
emotions.
yeah, and I mean, it's nothing, and what's so funny is there's nothing wrong with it, but we just need to, like, in my opinion, like, learning how to recognize it and put it in its proper place, because there's
Control
nothing
it.
wrong with it.
Yeah.
I feel like even in, friendships, relationships, like, there's nothing wrong with wanting to see that other person being at their best. But I had to learn to start choosing people that also want it for themselves as well. I can't be the only one that wants it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's it right there. And I think that's what it is too. We want more for people than they want for themselves. And so then we try to show them, like, hey, you worth it. Like, let me show you, you worth it. But
Mhm.
again, and if they in their head, if they in their emotions, if they never have had anybody or anything that made them feel like they're worth it, it's like it's like a horse dead. Just hypothetically speaking, a horse that's dead and you trying to pull it to the, or not dead, a horse that's ready. You trying to pull that mug to the water to get him some water. So you pulling it. It's heavy. It's like, oh my God, can you scoop some? Can you help me out a little bit? Like, scoot your body a little bit and help me pull you. It's tough. It's definitely tough.
It's definitely tough. I think it piggybacks off a section in the episode that I just did, that just came out this past week, that I did with Ashton, and he was talking about, people who are dealing with, like, abusive relationships, and he kind of said it initially, like, just leave. And I was just like, that's easy for us to say where we at. That's absolutely easy for us to say where we at. But, and I'm not saying that you're wrong, but you have to put yourself in that other person's shoes. I was like, I don't think it's anybody in the world that ever signed up to be in a situation where they're not getting treated the way that they need to be treated. But it's so many other factors that go into that situation. Like they don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't show somebody like, oh, you deserve it. They're not just gonna be like, yeah, girl, I do deserve better. That it don't work like that.
Because even if they said, again, we say stuff all the time that we don't mean. So it's like, even if they said and you hear them saying if it has not resonated in the root of their own heart, then they just talking blank, empty words, and people do that all the time to sound good, or, they do it all the time just to make you think that they think higher of themselves, but they actually, in behind the scenes, they don't think highly of themselves, so.